Okay. This ice cream is good. If you're not going to watch that video, you're missing out. Alright. This is the video I'm going to expose Mormon's magic underwear. Okay, I'm at my website, and I've got several blogs that discuss it. This is the one where I quote the initiatory part, but this other one is on that particular subject, and about how women have great power in the church. So let's try that one first. Alright. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. This was from July 27th, 2018, titled LDS Magic Underwear. So go to my website, go to the search bar on the home page, and type in magic underwear, and LDS magic underwear will be the first one to appear. And you'll see the marks on the left breast and the right breast, as well as the square and compass of the Freemasons. Ooh! All right. I'm going to have to stop the video in a few minutes, or pause it, I guess. So, this was actually kind of long. You have no power over me. This was a great blog. You're missing out if you're not going to this. Alright, it says, I've been wanting to talk about the LDS garment for a while now, but there have been so much to discuss, especially with today's blood moon sign over Jerusalem, that I decided to just do it and get it over with right now, even though Google is now shadow banning me. They've stopped since I've paid more money. It's called extortion. Businesses are not allowed to do that, even if the FCC allows them to do it. So that you won't find this URL in Google search engine. You should be able to find it now. Mormons don't study and research their own religion. They've been brainwashed into believing that intelligence is evil and worldly, and so they outwardly argue, it is not essential for my salvation or exaltation, despite Mormon scripture directly and specifically commanding to gain intelligence. And here I quote from the Doctrine and Covenants, section 130, verses 18 through 19. Whatever principle of intelligence we attain unto in this life, it will rise with us in the resurrection. And if a person gains more knowledge and intelligence in this life through his diligence and obedience than another, he will have so much the advantage in the world to come. So the intellectual movement that the church is trying to get Mormons to not study any further, and they're now canceling Sunday school. That's wrong. Naughty, naughty. Bad, bad, bad. All right, and another personal favorite. Getting closer to the time where I need to pause. From Doctrine and Covenants, section 131, verse 6. It is impossible for a man to be saved in ignorance. Don't be ignorant. I'm going to pause it. Okay, I'm back. Ice cream. Go to the home or my channel. Look at the other videos. I specifically discuss the ice cream I'm referring to. It's sinfully delicious. But yeah, the original wording comes from the Lucky Charms commercial. It's magically delicious. And we're talking about magic underwear. Okay, so as I'm continually reading from my website, I then go on to say, thus it is supposed to be a good thing to be an intellectual. Yet Mormons have turned the word into a bad word. A 4-letter word. And yes, Mormons are not able to count. Intellectual has more than 4 letters in it. Nevertheless, they call it a bad word. As Mormons now seek to be dumb and ignorant and boast about it publicly and in church. Yeah, I had a bishop who bragged about having never read the Book of Mormon. A bishop. Yeah, he wasn't a good guy. He changed the laws of the church and God and everything else, causing mass chaos and pandemonium. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Ghostbusters reference. Okay, so today's post is on the LDS underwear called the garment. In the initiatory, when originally it is were a new initiate. Where, I think, is supposed to be the word. In the initiatory, when originally it is where, so typing error, a new initiate is given the garment, Mormons are told it represents the garment given to Adam and Eve when they were found naked in the Garden of Eden, and is called the garment of the holy priesthood. Inasmuch as you do not defile it, but are true and faithful to your covenants, it will be a shield and a protection to you. I kept going on there. First of all, God did not invent underwear. What? Aren't we born with underwear? No. And gave it to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were not walking around in their underwear. The original garment was clothing, outerwear. Actually, it was a loincloth according to the Hebrew text of the Bible. And secondly, Adam and Eve's garments did not contain Freemasonic symbols. Go to my website, you will see the pictures that accompany the blog post. And so yeah, you'll see the Freemasonic symbol on the left, and that, yeah, it was on the left. This is my left, so it should be the left here for you guys. And then on the right is a picture of the garment markings on the magic underwear. So yeah, and they call it the square and the compass. It's not like they're hiding anything, but oh wait, we're not supposed to talk about what goes on in the temple because it's sacred. No, you're not talking about it because you don't want to reveal that you stole the Freemasonic symbols. Brigham Young. On the right is the mark of the square, and on the left is the mark of the compass. The square and compass are Freemasonic tools used together to make their symbol. Brigham Young created this, not Joseph Smith, despite what people try to claim. But this explains why the garment is underwear and why Mormons are paranoid about keeping them a secret. Because in Freemasonic rituals, their initiates are told to keep their ritual a secret. The original Egyptian rituals were not a secret, and instead written about as being part of their gospel narrative. What gospel? What? No, only Jesus has gospels. No other religion has gospels. Nobody else can have good news. And so then I give examples of the Egyptian rituals that illustrate the temple process that they had. The one on the right is the original picture. I haven't added that one. Scholars are ignorant because they think it's the baptism of Pharaoh. No. Baptism is not a sprinkling of water. Baptism comes from the Greek word meaning immersion into a body of water and then coming right back up. Symbolic of Osiris. What? No, Jesus! No! Yes, Osiris. being murdered by his brother, and being thrown into the Nile River, and then being ascended to heaven by the magical powers of Isis, representing the church. No, that's paganism. That's evil, Travis. We're not listening. Thumbs down. The Egyptians had initiatories too. Modern scholarship, however, believes that the washing and anointing ritual is baptism, whereas the Egyptian baptism, I'm already repeating. Okay, well, it comes from their god Osiris, who, upon being murdered by Set, had his dead body thrown into the Nile River, a symbol of the field of reeds in the afterlife. And then I show a picture of the field of reeds from the Coming Forth by Day book. What? What Coming Forth by Day book? Book of the Dead is the incorrect translation. Oh. As to Mormon underwear having magical powers, in the initiatory ritual, I actually do put ha 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 in there, so yeah. In the initiatory ritual, Mormons are told, inasmuch as you are true and faithful to it, the garment, it will be a shield and a protection to you against the power of the destroyer. Hollywood has put a lot of cool Catholic horror movies where the priest is the hero with his holy water and cross that burns up demons. But none of it is real, or even based upon real possibilities, though on true tales within Catholicism. The key word is power, which I'll discuss in greater detail when I talk about sin and Lucifer. But it is important to remember that Lucifer has no physical power over anyone on earth. He cannot move physical objects to hurt us. All Lucifer can do is whisper in our minds to take away rights of others to harm them. So when Mormons abuse me on my channel by putting a thumbs down or saying I'm stupid or I'm an antichrist, apostate, left-wing nut, they're the ones who are taking away my rights as Lucifer did? Again, being bad by reading the Book of Mormon. Watch it today on YouTube, Travis Wayne Goodcell's channel. But don't miss out on my ice cream video. Those who listen to the demonic voice in their head are the one who are doing Lucifer's bidding. Yay, thank you, Captain Obvious. This is Lucifer's power. And then I put in the labyrinth clip, "You have no power over me." This I transferred over from YouTube rather than going out of my way to make a clip of it from my version of the film. Great stuff. You have no power over me. But David Bowie, you're singing such a wonderful song. Okay, thus being true and faithful means that you are not following Lucifer, and thus are protected from following Lucifer. It has nothing to do with actual being possessed if you drink Mountain Dew. Another free promo ad, Mountain Dew, the drink of champions, Mormon sinners. Yet Mormon leadership have encouraged Mormon paranoia by requiring the wearing of the underwear 24/7 in their requirements for entrance into the temples. This is another distraction away from Jesus' actual gospel. You know, a Republican thing to do. It is not a sin not to wear the underwear. That is a double negative, but is that accurate? It is not a sin to not wear the underwear. Yeah, not to wear the underwear. yet the church uses it to threaten Mormons and punish sinners. I worked for Beehive Clothing, the church's garment maker, and despite the child sweatshops in the Philippines, yes, they have sweatshops in the Philippines. Although they've been closing down a lot of stuff, they may have shut them down. The underwear is not considered sacred and holy. What? How dare you? I've not finished the sentence. There's still more to the sentence. I didn't put a period there. Mormons missed that when you hear people say something versus reading something. So yes, R-rated movies is the same condition. You heard him say it, then you shut off your brain after he said it, not listening to the rest of his sentence. President Benson, in the 1986 conference, April. I can't remember the name of the talk. He gave 2 or 3 of them that conference. Because one of them was Pride in the Book of Mormon. Another one was to the priesthood, Aaronic priesthood, that we are the great and noble generation, and that we will be the one, God's army in the latter days. How are you guys doing on that? Not so good, are you? You're following Trump, the beast, that John the Revelator warned us about. Okay, where was I? Sweatshops, yeah. The underwear is not considered sacred and holy until, a preposition. Ooh, you got burned again. Until the women sewers, yeah, there's only one that I remember who may have been a man sewing, and it may have been a substitute who was in a position of some other leadership position. I don't know. I didn't really associate with the sewers except for one woman two women who I tried to start dating. Didn't last very long. So in the Freemasonic marks. So yes, the material, when it's constructed, is still not sacred and holy until the Freemasonic marks are sewn into it. That's the official position at Beehive Clothing for the church. The official position of the church. All right, that's it. That's the distinction. The Mormon underwear is regular underwear until the marks are sewn in, and then they are magically infused with magical powers, magically delicious. Who knew Mormon women held such power in the church? The sad thing is that all Mormon women believe they wear the pants in the family. It's not supposed to be that way either. Of course, did I do a video of it or did I just blog it? In the original temple text before the change in 1991, you had to obey your husband, didn't you, women who remember that? Obey your husband. It's sort of changed with a wording difference, but it's still the first covenant to women is obey your husband. So I now have 2 women who have been disobedient and bad and evil. And then, never mind. Ice cream. Alright. So, but yeah, women have the priesthood. Brigham Young just denied them to have it outside of the temple. So, there you go. Magical powers. Okay. I don't understand, and I have to put in sarcastically in parentheses, because people will confuse when I just talk about it. I don't understand why women are demanding a restoration of priesthood for women when they are the ones who give magical powers to their underwear. Oh, the blasphemy of it all. So to hear the tales of former church presidents' paranoia about their underwear and refusing to alter it according to the world's current fashion trends is ridiculous when you know that the secret to the magic of Mormon underwear is that they must contain the marks. And here comes the favorite line of those who have read this blog post. If I can stop laughing to say it. Thus, in theory, one could wear a thong as long as it contained the marks, and it would count as compliance. There's no way I'm wearing a thong. Okay, so there you have it. When you're bad, you just are too easy to pick on. All the late night comedy shows are a good example of that. Oh man. Whew. Do you understand, Mormons? If the marks are what make your clothing sacred, it has nothing to do with underwear being sacred. If they chose the outer shirts or pants or dresses to contain the marks, which are Freemasonic, square and compass, then oh wow, house. Oof. Oh man, you can wear anything as long as you have marks on it. It doesn't matter. It's all of a sudden sacred and holy. You know, anciently they did not have the marks. What you wore in the temple was exclusive to the temple, and thus by exclusivity within the temple, it was therefore holy. Anything worn outside was what was the word? Profane. And so worldly, profane, outside the temple, all the same thing. So your regular common clothes are profane. So profanity is not using four-letter bad words with magical powers. It's simply speech that is held outside of the temple. Only speech that is exclusive within the temple is holy. And so the ritual is exclusive within the temple. Thus the ritual is holy, but it has no magical powers. And there's no curse by revealing what goes on in the temple. It's just when you perform the rituals outside of the temple that you make the holy ritual profane. It's that simple. So in the churches, the sacrament table, if Mormons decided, okay, we're doing away with the churches, we're now going to use the sacrament table, which is an altar, oh man, as a dinner table, because we've got too many at our cultural event. Thong. Oh man. So do you understand? There's no magical powers. We don't believe in witchcraft. Priesthood is not witchcraft. I don't know. Mormons are probably still going to be paranoid. Oh, you can't put it on the floor. You got to burn it now that it's on the floor. That's the flag of the United States. And even that's being a little paranoid. Oh man, but yeah, there are stories of Mormons who wear their garments 24/7, so in the shower, in a pool, exercising, playing sports, man, having procreative powers. Take them off. You know, having worn them since I turned 19 and went to the Los Angeles temple and have been wearing the two-piece garment. I'm not sure. I think I did a video. I threw it in a comment. Ah, yes, my first time in the temple, LDS temple video on YouTube. Look it up. Go to my channel. I talk about the two-piece versus one-piece change that took place. And so, yeah, I got used to it. Just like on my LDS mission as a 19-year-old boy, they demanded we have handkerchiefs with us at all times. And in New York, you needed a handkerchief because at the end of the day, you'd wipe your brow. Whoa, pollution. So, yeah, isn't that great? New York City. I feel safe in New York City. AC/DC, Safe in New York City. Great song. But anything with New York is great because I went there on my 19-year-old LDS mission. So Crooklyn, we all know it's Crooklyn. I saw the wall where they spray painted Crooklyn in Flatbush where I stayed. So even the people in Brooklyn know it's Crooklyn. But I digress yet again. So, do you understand? There's no such thing as magical powers. Even witchcraft do not have magical powers. Yes, they say things that they read from a book, but it doesn't do anything. Voodoo, they have no magical powers. And if you know voodoo, you know that they have drugs that they give to people to cause the effects that they want. And so, yeah, that's how they do it. Potions and spells. They have to drug people in order to get them to do their will. So don't be fooled, Mormons. It doesn't need to be underwear. Adam and Eve didn't wear underwear. They wore loincloths. Let's all go back to loincloths. Oh, but the Book of Mormon says the Lamanites were bad because they wore loincloths. Anyway. Okay, so that's that for that. And Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.